Hello, everybody, and welcome to our YouTube series of live conversations with the partner organizations of Volpower. Volpower is a 2-year European project funded under the Asylum, Migration and Integration Fund. I am Francesca from the APIS Institute in Ljubljana, and today I will be having a talk with Adrian, Eleonora, and Marzia, who are connected from Bolzano in South Tyrol, Italy. Hello, and thank you for being with us.
Thank you. Thank you.
So how are the preparations for Zagreb going?
It's going really good. We have defined the group of 6 volunteers that will be joining us in the training in Zagreb. And we are very happy that we managed to bring together a very diverse group of people, of young people with different backgrounds. Some of them already have expertise in volunteering activities. Some of them have a background in artistic and cultural productions, while some other are pretty new to the activities of volunteering. So we expect that many interesting exchanges will take place during Zagreb and after the training.
Very well. Can't wait to meet them. And as a matter of fact, we are all absolutely thrilled and looking forward to taking part in the first international volunteer event, which will take place from the 10th to the 14th of June in Zagreb, and more precisely on Sljeme, which is this mountain just outside the Croatian capital. But let's now know better our guests.
Yes. So, well, I'm Eleonora Psenner. I'm a researcher of the EURAC research, which is based here in South Tyrol, northern part of Italy, in the Alps. And, well, it happened actually that the department or the group, the research group studying minority rights approached our group, which is rather focused on regional development, because they knew that I was passionate about arts and culture in general. And so, like a year ago, we started to write this proposal together, and today we're here, and our team of researchers has actually expanded, so we are now 5. One sits next to me, and I guess Marzia will introduce herself.
Yeah, so my name is Marzia Bona. I'm also a researcher as Eleonora at the Institute for Regional Development. I have a background in human rights and civil society, and I'm currently focusing on Volpower activities as well as on other projects which deal mostly with the integration in the labor market of migrants and asylum seekers in the region of South Tyrol. And with us, we also have the representative of the main organization we will be cooperating with for Volpower, Adrian Luncke.
Hello. Yes, I'm Adrian. I represent OEW, in English OEW, which is the Organization for One Solidarische Welt. We're based in Barcelona, which is one of the cities in South Tyrol. And we work in different fields. I run the department for plurality and co-living.
So together with the Institute for Development and International Relations in Croatia, the Erasmus University Rotterdam in the Netherlands, and the APIS Institute in Slovenia, EURAC Research is one of the partners that focuses on volunteering in arts and culture and how it promotes integration and youth empowerment of EU and third country nationals. So what is your experience in this field?
Yes, well, the Institute for Regional Development has different contacts by now on the territory, stakeholders, interest groups, which are connected to these topics of Volpower. So we are talking about youth groups, youth centers, cultural organizations, also all the umbrella organizations that have to do with volunteering and all the services of general interest as well. So we use these contacts to also find some new approach for the Volpower project. And in fact, also with migration issues, we have collaborated or worked a lot. And we want to use these synergies that already exist out there to also create some new path for the future and focusing on our youth in the territory. And yes, there is this component maybe, which is interesting, the component of going beyond the individual habitual limits, which is something that is inherent to the volunteering spirit, but also to creative arts, let's say, in general. So it will be the concept we are trying to focus on by our study, and using a specific group of participants and accompanying them during these 10 months of activities on the territory, and then see what the impact is for them as a group and also for the community as a whole.
And you already started talking a bit about the organizations you collaborate with. Could you give us a general overview of them?
Yes, in the first stage of the implementation of the project, we started to set up a database of interesting organizations and actors on the territory that could be involved. And so it's a mixture actually of cultural organizations and volunteering organizations, as well as youth groups. And among them, we found that many have actually experienced collaborating with young people in this aspect. And what we liked especially was the program that was suggested by EW. So that's why we chose them also for our main partner. And I guess Adrian will let you know what we plan to do.
So yes, as we have the chance to have Adrian from the Organization for a Solidarische Welt here with us, could you tell us which activities do you promote and who are the volunteers you work with?
Yes, we have 3 departments. One stands for international collaboration. So we recruit volunteers and we send them to projects where they do internships for a couple of months in countries like Ecuador, Colombia, and so on. So we have many volunteers that we accompany there. We have a second department dedicated to conscious consumption. So we talk about things like global injustices of market powers, for example, and fair trade. And then we have my department, and I try to raise awareness for questions of migration and integration and all the possible problems that can come with integration and that can come with a plural society. I work there with volunteers. We all work with volunteers inside our organization. We have people coming in to join us for a couple of months, who then become like the constant part of our team that support us on a daily basis. But we also have many volunteers, like thinking of my projects, when it comes to maybe single events. We have an intercultural sports event that takes place every year with more than 100 participants and I think 30 volunteers that all come from different backgrounds. And this is actually one of the main approaches. We try to put together people who maybe make quite different experiences in their lives, but try to actually put them together, bring them together to stimulate exchange, and maybe also during these activities, and this is why I'm also happy to join Volpower, create processes of integration and of getting to know each other.
And I know that some of the volunteers will be exploring theater as well. Am I right?
Yes. Our main project, one of our main projects this year is the realization of a theater play. So we try to put Fassbinder's movie Fear Eats the Soul to create a theater version of this movie. It's a movie from the 70s where Fassbinder talks about xenophobia, so the fear of the so-called other. I think it's quite an actual theme, and it's quite interesting to have it realized by, again, an intercultural group of young people.
And on the other side, what will Volpower offer these volunteers?
We will offer, of course, the opportunity to take part into the international training in Zagreb. That will for sure provide them with tools and competencies in the field of digital communication, and this will feed in the activities of communicating the work we will be doing on the territory, and will enrich some of the skills that the volunteer already bring with them. And then we offer them constant attention from our side, so we will be their point of reference on the territory, and will be in constant dialogue with them to find out and discuss with them which are the best activity for them, taking into account their skills and their willingness to be active in a field rather than the other, and also to discuss, and this is very relevant to us, how does volunteering activities enrich them? How would they like these activities to be shaped, how would they like this activity to change along the process of the project. So yeah, it will be for sure an enriching experience for them, not only in terms of taking part into some new activities, but also having the chance to reflect together with us, researchers at EURAC, and together with the organizations involved, the meaning these activities have for them, for their sense of belonging in the community, and for the integration of third country nationals into the local community.
And you also designed some questionnaires, and you are conducting interviews.
Yeah, we have actually almost concluded the first round of preliminary interviews, which are include both a quantitative survey and an in-depth interview, which is meant to somehow produce a preliminary mapping of the personal situation of each and every individual volunteer that will take part into Volpower activities. And after this first round, we will conduct with them a focus group when they come back from Zagreb to take stock of the meaning of this experience for them. And at the very end of the volunteering process, we will have with them again another in-depth interviews to see how actually these 10 months of volunteering have producing some change into the volunteers and their perception of the local community.
And as for EURAC research, what would you say connects your institute with the Volpower project?
Yes, well, what was interesting in this approach of the Volpower project was to actually try to create a community or platform, let's say, of actors and stakeholders on the territory. And in this sense, what is an important concept also that we investigate on is this concept of co-designing, whereby we try to add another group of organizations in the culture sector to the main activities that we're doing and carrying out now for the next period together with OEW, which are on the one hand, for example, the Arte Viva organization, which is based here in Bolzano and concentrates on circus arts. So the participants will have the chance to also become creative and get some artistic skills in that sense, while also helping out the organization in carrying out their laboratories for children. And the other organization, which is also part of this core group, is Kultur, also based in Bolzano. And their main competence, let's say, is to actually use digital technologies for storytelling and video making. So we plan to have this co-designing among participants, among organizations, to create something new out of this experience. And maybe in the future also establish some new paths that people in young age can actually go through together with the organization.
Finally, I would like to ask Adrian, how is Volpower relevant for the organization you are part of?
Yes, it is first of all enriching because we now can start a collaboration with the two other organizations in EURAC, organizations we have not already worked with. So you have to imagine that we are all small organizations, especially the NGOs. I mean, my organization consists of 10 people, only 3 of us are in a full-time position. So we are small organizations, and the chance to putting us in our very different competences also together can be very enriching. Like thinking about circus art is definitely something we haven't done in the past and we're not familiar with, but we find very interesting. Same for the digital, the work in the digital fields and the digital media, which we have done a little bit, but having like really at our sides professional partner can only be an extra and it is surplus. So that's a very good occasion to get into contact with other important actors. I think also the research done by EURAC might, I hope, change something in terms of funding policies. Because, for example, we are seen as a social actor doing now a cultural project by producing a theater play. It's kind of difficult in terms of funding because, finding funding for something which is somehow in between culture and the social fields doesn't often fit or doesn't really fit into one of those sectors. So we make the experiences that finding financial resources for this kind of project is quite difficult, and I hope that the report that comes at the end of this 10-month research might also change something in policies. And the last part is, of course, the volunteers themselves. I think this is like the most important and the most present part of the project. We're always happy to meet new people and young people who are happy and enthusiastic about our topics. So having in front of us, we will meet them tomorrow, a young group of people, of 6 volunteers from different cultural backgrounds who speak German and Italian, the 2 or 3 languages of our region. It's quite enriching again, quite stimulating.
So thank you, Adrian. Thank you, Eleonora and Marzia, for being with us.
Thank you.
And thank all of you for watching us. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and visit our website, volpower.eu. You will find more information about Volpower. And this is the end of our Volpower live talk from Ljubljana.
And from Bolzano.
We wish you a nice day. See you soon.
See you soon. Bye-bye.